Hey everyone, it's Mona here, Craft Klatch. Today is Friday. That means it's another Coaster Friday. Today we are doing the Steampunk coaster, which was suggested by Magtech Blue. I'll be honest, I went into this one really not having any idea what to do. I understand steampunk, but I don't really understand steampunk. So hopefully I got where I needed to go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just using some scrapbook paper that I got at the store. I got my circle cutter. I'm just going to, in no place in particular, cut out a circle. Starting with 1 ounce of the Easy Cast. I have the regular coaster mold, and then I found this other mold, which is smaller. There's 6 holes in here, or 6 cavities in here, and I'll see if I can find it online and link it also. So check out the description below. I have cut out my map. I've got 1 ounce of the resin, as I said, and I'm going to split that into 2. So it'll be 1/2 ounce and 1/2 ounce. In the first 1/2 ounce, I have this amber pigment dye that I'm going to add. Just a drop, because the steampunk stuff is kind of old-timey. I'm going to add some into here, spread it around, hit it with the lighter, pop the bubbles, and I'm going to take our little old-time map, put it in. Remember that paper is porous, so this should soak into the paper. I'm going to pour the rest in here and kind of see if there's bubbles, and you can squeeze those out. Hit it with the lighter. Now what I also have is a bunch of gears. And I'm going to just place them randomly around the outer ring. Press them down into the resin so they stay in place. Now hit it with your lighter again. We'll let that one sit for 12 hours. Now for this part, I'm going to take some pigment powders, and I'm going to take the blue, this beautiful blue, throw some in there, mix it around. Now to age it up just a little bit, we'll take this darker sunset gold. Put it in too. I'm going to pour that right on in here. I'll hit it with the lighter, pop the bubbles, let that sit a minimum of 12 hours. Our pieces have cured. Now I'm going to pop this one out. We're going to use this metal clock face and put that right in the middle. So we have this part of the eye, the iris, and I'm just going to take some light metallic blue and some metallic black. We're just going to enhance it just a little bit. And then I'm going to just paint the middle, just the plain black. And then we're going to let that dry. Okay, now I'm going to glue this thing on, the clock face. I'm just going to use the ultimate glue. I'm just going to use a little bit. And we'll let that dry. So I mixed 2 more ounces. I think it should be enough. Pop any bubbles. And then I'm going to place this guy in right here. Then I'm going to pour the remaining resin over it. Pop the bubbles, let it sit a minimum of 12 hours before you unmold it. Here's the coaster. It is finished. Now we have the steampunk eyeball coaster. You can kind of see the detail there. So you got the gears, we got the eyeball, and then we've got the clock face as the pupil. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, but I want to have a little bit more fun with it. So it can be a little bit of a sculptural piece that you have sitting on your side table. And for that, I'm going to take some clay. I'm going to wrap this in some cling wrap so we don't get any polymer clay marks on there. I'm just using leftovers. I got like a brown, a tan, a skin color, or whatever. I'm just going to mix them together, and I'll run them through the pasta machine too. And what I am going to do is hopefully create sort of an eyelid on the top and on the bottom, an upper lid and a lower lid. Alright, I'm going to do the same for the lower lid, and I'm going to want these to meet. I'm going to take this off. Now we're going to stamp it, and I have parts from like an old printer that I've saved, and I'm going to just stamp right into here with these gears and stuff like that. And I can use a clock face and just do little prints right into there. you're satisfied with how much you have on there, now's the time to make it look like metal. I'm going to take a soft brush, and I have some pigment powders here. I have some copper, a couple different golds. I'm going to start with the copper and go over it in certain areas. This is why it really doesn't matter, you know, the color underneath didn't matter so much, because we're going to try to make it look metallic, because obviously steampunk has a lot of metallic influences in it. We're going to repeat it on the back side because we don't want this looking all fleshy and a different color. Now we can lay it over the eye. So we know basically how this is going to be. Now we just need to create some tin foil under there to create so it will lay like this properly. We're going to take some foil and crush it, and we want it to be about the thickness of our coaster. So on my baking pan, I'm going to carefully transfer this. Then I'm going to take a little multi-surface paint in a dark brown and just go right along the edge. The multi-surface paint can be baked, so that'll make it a permanent part of this as well. I just want to give it a little bit of definition around the edge of the eye. And into the oven it goes. So here's the coaster just by itself, and here it is with the eyelid cover. So now it's kind of a sculptural piece that you can have in your house too. And it's actually big enough to where if you wanted to leave it like that and use it as a coaster, a couple will fit in there just fine, or you can take it off and do it that way. Be sure to let me know what you think of the coaster in the comments below. So it is time for the fishbowl. If you want your idea included in the fishbowl for next week, be sure to leave it on the most recent coaster video. And if you are making any crafts that you would like to share, I would love for you to share photos of them over on my Facebook page, and I'll have that link down in the description below as well. Sharon McBride Suncatcher coaster. So that's what we're doing next week. I would love for you guys to leave some ideas of what you would like to see in a suncatcher. Thank you guys for being here every week, and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't yet, remember to do that so you don't miss a thing. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe.